Welcome to the Artistry Collective Wednesdays. It feels so good to be back. I don't know how often I'll be able to be back right now, but as for today, I'm here with you guys, so that is great. Come on in, say hello as you're getting here. Share the video out there. We are just going to have some fun today. I watched Tim Holtz on Saturday, and he had some fun with some sidekick dies, and so I thought I would make some Valentine's cards with you guys. Okay. Let's see. Tell some friends I'm here. Here we go. Hello there, Sharon. Hello, lady. How are you? Okay. So let's just go over some quick things that I've got here. Hello, Jerry. And Tamara's here. Hello. Hello, hello. You guys will have to forgive my voice. It kind of comes and goes. Okay, so I've got my trusty sidekick. Love it. And then I've got two of the side order dies. 666859 and 666860. So these ones are, they kind of come with a little bit of everything. They come with an embossing, dry embossing little folder, and then they come with some dies as well. And these two are absolutely perfect for Valentine's Day. If you guys can do me a favor, hit the thumbs up for this video. My channel has really been neglected here for a little while, so trying to get some interest back here. Let everybody know I'm still around. It's just been a rough start to the year. Not exactly the one I had in mind, but I'm here. I'm doing okay. I just kind of have to take every day as it comes and see how I am at that point. Okay, so if you watched Tim's live on Saturday, and the live I'm talking about is here on YouTube. If you missed it, you can always go to his channel and watch any of his older videos. They're so much fun and so educational. Hello there. And so much to learn. So I just have some, I believe these are A2 cards. Guys, I'm not good with my A sizes, but these are just standard cards. Now, I did not cut these. These ones already were perforated. So sometimes I will buy those if I can get them on clearance or get a good deal or whatever. So I often will just have random card bases and things floating around. These are good for all kinds of things, not just cards, but like journaling cards and whatever. Okay, so I don't know how many I'm going to get to make here. If you guys will remember, this is the Artistry Collective's live Wednesday night crafting. And I go live first to kick us off. And so that starts out here on the West Coast. Then we go over to Leah, all the way to New York, across the way. And she is from Make All the Things With Me. And then Christy is in Maryland. And she is from Christy's Crafty Cottage. And she is our hostess. She has brought the Artistry Collective together. I think we've been together for a couple of years now, and we try to get together every Wednesday and do some sort of live crafting. We used to pick a theme. We haven't done that for a while. There she is. There's Christy. Yeah, it has been some time. I think all three of us will be here tonight, provided nothing gets in the way. Life has just kind of been, crazy for all of us. So excuse our absence, but definitely do us all a favor. Hit that thumbs up, like, share, subscribe, do all the things. Watch an old video if you can. That'll give us a little boost on the algorithm. Okay, so the sidekick is just a little mini die cut machine made by Sizzix. And I am going to give it a go here. So I'm going to make a few cards. I've got a couple of these already cut down to the size that I need, so I can just run these through. I gotta remember, I hardly ever emboss on here, so I have to remember which ones I'm supposed to use. I think it's this thin one, and then this one, and then this one is the sandwich. We'll give it a try. Oops, come on. All right, let's back this up just a little bit. There we go. Yep, I think that's the right sandwich. Yay! All right, so now notice I did not wet my paper or anything like that. You can if you want to. I have never been one to do that. Fortunately, the paper that I use usually takes to it very well. Hey, Christy, there is Leah asking if I'm going live. Can you tell her I'm already live? I'm here. I'm live. Okay, and you can see it did just fine. And, oh, great. My pump is not being playful and cooperative. Sorry, guys. Let's see. This is supposed to be live. Why is it not showing there? Trying to see comments over here. There we go. Okay. So if you're doing some compartmental making or even just a mass make, you're going to make several of these. You can just keep going. Since you know the sandwich, you've got everything out. So I'm going to do 2 more. Maybe. There they are. What is it doing? No, I don't want to watch somebody else. What's happening? I'm just supposed to be able to see comments over here. Sorry, everyone. I hope I'm live still. Jeez. Let's see. Why won't it be there? Okay, well, I think it's still live. I don't know. I don't know. All right. So, yeah. Anyways, yeah, I don't I don't use water on my paper. This is textured cardstock. It's from Die Cuts with a View, or DCWV, if that's the term you're more familiar with. And that's not the only cardstock that I use, but that's what this one is. Yep, okay, good. Yay! And it works just great. You can see I don't have to do anything crazy. Now this embossing folder, I will give you a little heads up. If you put your paper in there a little bit crooked, there's not very much room to hide because it's got lines. So, you know, don't worry about it too much. You can kind of trim it up depending on how you're going to use it. I just try to put it in here as kind of as straight as I can. And if you use this little line back here to kind of line it up, that helps a little bit too. So just try to get things as straight as you can. And then I also pulled over my little paper packs that I usually buy when they're on clearance or on sale. And I've had them in my stash for a very, very long time. I do know that Paper Studio, so Hobby Lobby, still sells these. And they do sometimes go on clearance. But they are just like a little rainbow pack of papers like this. They're border punch. This one is from Die Cuts with a View, DCWV. And they're perfect for when I am doing this kind of die cutting because, one, I've got a whole array of colors here at my fingertips. This is textured cardstock. Sometimes you can even get it with an adhesive backing on it, but you can see right here it says textured. This, I believe, is white core paper. So if you break down to the center of it, you'll be able to see white rather than it's not a solid color all the way through. But I don't really care about that so much when I'm just doing some simple die cutting. Okay, so I've got my little letterboard from here. And then we can kind of go through. Now, I can't take credit for this this card. I saw it on Tim Holtz's live. And it wasn't one that he had done recently. It was one I think he did last year when these little side order dies came out. So, so yeah, but it's fun to remember. I think he was just trying to remind everybody of what they have in their stash. And so you can break out the toys and, you know, play with the things that you have. Okay, so this is how this is going to go. It is just a little bit too big, which is great because I can now trim off the sides here. You can use a trimmer or scissors or tear it if you want, however you want to do it. But it also gives me that chance to kind of even this up a little bit. And you can see, even without spritzing or anything, that paper still is a little bit fragile and it pulled apart. I'm not going to worry about that because I'm going to glue it together and layer some things on it. So it's not going to really matter anymore. Anyways, sorry guys, I don't know what the dog is thinking she hears. Sharon, get your dog. I think she might be mad because I'm in the craft room, and in this craft room she can't come in because it's a cat zone. So we call this one the NRZ, the no rem zone. And she doesn't like that a whole lot, especially when I'm in here and she's not. Okay, so we've got those. Now, another good thing for this smaller size of dies is that you can definitely use scraps. So if you have cardstock or paper scraps that you want to use, they are perfect for that. And you can see this one comes with dies and an embossing folder as well. And this one has all of the shapes that we see here. Now, I want to cut out some of the little envelopes. Oops. Boy, yep, I haven't even used this one. How sad is that? I've had this for over a year and I haven't played with it even once. And I'm sure you guys all have stuff in your stash that you maybe have forgotten about or just haven't played with in a while, or whatever the case may be. Okay, so I'm going to get out that one. And then I would like this little tiny heart that's down here. Now, if you have a heart punch rather than a die, that could work too. That might even be a little bit easier depending on how you want to deal with that. Hey, Mama Christine's in the house. Hello, lady. Hello. There's Leah too. Yay. I'm so glad you guys are all here with me. Like I said, it's been a long first start to the year. I was so sick. I got like respiratory sickness, and then I got gastritis, and then I got more respiratory funk. So it's been really hit and miss as far as how I have felt and things of that sort. So I appreciate you all for still being here with me and just kind of excusing my absence for a little while. All right, let's find some paper and cut a few of these little envelopes. And you can see sometimes I already cut things and I'll just leave the paper in here because maybe I want these words for something else. But this is perfect for a bunch of little things. Now I might use some red, and sometimes I will just tear out a little piece if I just need some of it. But you can see there, that's how you know also that it's white core. Okay, so I need that, and then I need a color for the envelopes. So maybe like an off-white. There's lots of yellow. I don't really want yellow. Maybe we'll go with gray. Something on the back. Now, this is all personal preference. You can, use whatever colors you like. Maybe you want a purple envelope or a blue envelope or whatever it is. I've got a couple different ones of these because they all have some different colors. And of course, I use them at different rates. So there's some white right there. Yay. Or it's kind of like maybe that's a gray. No, that's a gray. Yeah, the eyes are not seeing very good color-wise today. There's a white. Okay, here we go. That's a very clean white. And what I mean by that is like bright, bright white. Okay, so we are going to not lose that little tiny heart, hopefully, and see if our little envelope will fit on here. Looks like it will fit just perfectly. And I'll probably just cut as many as these and cut as many of these as I can. That's usually what I do. If I have extras and I'm not using them right now, I'll just tuck them back in the envelope. So that way, the next time I go to cut these out, maybe I'll go, ooh, bonus, I've already got some cut out. Now, some people tape that down as well. I don't really worry about it. I'm kind of the lazy die cutter, I guess you could say. I don't know. I do just what I need to get done. Come on. There we go. Now that textured cardstock is a little bit thicker, so sometimes, you know, that second pass, if you can go forward and back, that can really be helpful. Let's just make sure that that is cutting right. No, it didn't. You know why it didn't? Because I put it in there wrong. Put the little blade side down. Okay, let's turn it back like I had it. It'll take me a little while to get back in the swing of things, guys. Apparently. I hope everybody's weather has kind of chilled out. I know the groundhog said more winter, and everybody's tired of winter. We really didn't have much of a winter here in Western Washington. Okay, now see, if I would just not be so stubborn and just tape it down, it would stay in the right place, but I usually am not a taper. There we go. Come on. And if your plates pop and crack and ping like that, it's totally fine. It is acrylic, and the pressure that goes through is what's making that noise. Okay, so let's make sure this is going to work fine before I do 2 more of them. I need at least 2 more. Now this little envelope is not designed to be like a functional one, really. It is just supposed to kind of look like this. And I mean, you can close the lid if you want to, but for this sake of this card, we're going to leave it open. Now you can have your textured side inside or out. I'm going to leave it kind of inside. That way it'll be a little easier to glue down. Okay, and that worked fine. So we'll do a couple more. Now, if I were just here die cutting by myself, I would, like I said, I would cut probably this whole strip out and tuck any extras away in the little die cut envelope that it comes in. Again, that plate cracking is totally fine. And if you're not familiar with this die cut machine, this one is by Sizzix. It's called the Sizzix Sidekick, and mine is the older Tim Holtz version. The reason I know it's the older one is because he has switched everything, for the most part, to black, kind of a sleeker color. And mine is still the brown one. I thought about updating to the nicer new one, the black, clean lines, whatever, but mine still works. I love it. Sizzix even makes a red one, so you might have the old Sizzix one. And, you know, if color matters to you, then you could always sell the one you have and upgrade. But honestly, mine works great, and it hangs out on my Tim cart, and it's always right here with my dies, so I don't need to worry too much about it. Okay, I'm going to make an extra 1 or 2. Maybe we'll just finish on this strip here. And that way, in case if I decide I want an extra one, or if one rips or something, then I don't have to come back and do this part again. And when you're putting this through here, watch this distance between here, that you don't put your fingers in there, because it really can pinch hard. I mean, I've been die cutting for, I don't know, almost 30 years, and I still sometimes almost get my fingers in there. So that's really the dangerous part of die cutting. Yes, there is a dangerous part to die cutting. Sharp pieces, and you can get a pinch. But it's so much fun, and as long as you're careful, it's so worth it. I used to have my kids all die cut for me. I used to own a scrapbooking store, and they would sit in there for hours with my scrap box, just die cutting whatever shapes they wanted. And it was always very helpful. All right, there we go. Get that there. And that was perfect. I don't know that we'll make another one out of this last little piece. Or maybe it will. Oh, look at that. That's like perfect. All right, we'll just do it. And that leaves no scraps on that strip, which is great. Okay. I think this is all I'm left with, so that'll just go into the trash bag over here. Remy, no. Okay, now here's the part. Like I said, if you have a heart punch or something like that, you could very easily use that instead of this tiny, tiny little die. I'm thinking I might want to cut out a few of the bigger hearts so that we could lay this out a little bit differently. Let's see, where'd my little pouch of dies go? Anybody see them? I opened them so nicely, set them aside. Oh, here they are. Okay. So again, we're working with this Sidekick side order 666860. It is called Love Notes, right there. Okay, and then it has some other hearts in here too. Now, if you don't have these dies, you might have other ones. You could, you know, some people have a punch of a little envelope. Some people use a template. You might just use an envelope punch board and fold your own. Basically, what I'm trying to tell you is however you want to make these little envelopes is totally fine. You can make them however you see fit. Okay, so this one's supposed to be a little candy heart box, but I don't have to use it for that. Oops, where'd my other plate go? There it is. Again, if you use like painter's tape, you can put it right over. You can use washi tape. Some people, I know, they hang a little roll of washi tape on their handle here, and then you can tape them down. I am pondering getting a little tape dispenser in here just for that purpose, so things don't slide and move all around. But you can see it can be done. Okay, now, did I lose a little heart already? Ugh. Okay, there's the big one. I don't know where the other one went. It's right there. Okay. Now, if you are somebody who mass makes or compartmental makes, you might already have all of your die cutting done, or maybe one day you'll just sit down and just do some die cutting. And then the next time you're ready to craft, you just sit down and put everything together. And that's, you know, totally one way to craft. Or maybe you're just starting the whole project like this. That's what too. That works too. So just do whatever works best for you. Yeah, tape can really make all the difference. I've just never been one to tape. I don't know why not. I guess I'm, like I said, maybe a lazier die cutter. I don't know. But it does keep things from moving on your plates, especially if you got little tinies or you're trying to use up all the scrap. Yeah, see that heart moved. And that means that when I put that through, it didn't die cut because it moved. But this one did. Okay, so we've got a couple of these bigger ones. Now I'll put this on here and try to get these little ones to go. I think normally what I would do instead of using these little ones is just use a punch, a hard punch, and just and be done. But you can die cut as well. But since I'm doing all die cutting today, we'll just keep going. Ooh, and be really careful that you don't lose these. I sometimes keep a little magnet on a stick to look for dies that I've dropped because as far as I'm aware, they don't make replacement dies. So if I lose this little heart, I'm just out that little heart unless I buy the whole die again. And some of the dies that I have are retired, so that means they're not made anymore. Ah, I did it again. See, if I put some tape on there, it wouldn't move around. And let's try and maybe move it towards the center so it'll have a little more. so there's a couple little hearts. There's a couple big hearts. We'll just do a few more of the little ones. See, I'm already 25 minutes in, and all I've really done is a bunch of die cutting. So, like I said, if you are somebody who maybe wants to sit down, maybe you just have 20 minutes and you just do some die cutting. And then next time you come back and maybe you've got another 20 minutes, you can put some things together. There we go. Those on there. But these little dies are a really great way to use up your scraps. Can be really helpful. All right. I think I'm going to call that good for now. I could still probably get a few more little hearts off of that piece. And let's put these back in their little pouch so that I don't lose any of them. Now I will put these on a magnetic sheet and then put them back in the envelope. I just haven't done that yet. But for now, they can live in here. You could maybe even put them in a little Ziploc bag and put them in here. I wouldn't put them in here without the bag of some sort to confine them, because these little pouches can leak. And what I mean by that is, so they have a little slit in them right here so that your little thing tucks in. And sometimes little tiny dies can escape from here or even up here. And then again, like I said, you'll be really sad if you lose those. Oops, I put them in the wrong pouch. Be really sad if you lose them, because the only way to replace them that I'm aware of is to buy a whole new one. So not the best way. But I try to keep all of mine in really good condition. I keep them all in their little Sizzix envelope. Sizzix does sell these envelopes plain, so that you can get them just the envelope. I think they say Sizzix on the front of them. And then it's a great way to store some of your dies. Okay, now Tim did his with white letters. I don't know if I might want to do white. Maybe I want to do pink. I do have another piece of white right here. Or is this gray? Guys, I think it might be gray. Yeah, it is gray, but that's okay. Gray could work. And I know when Tim did his, he layered them up a little bit to get some more thickness on the letter. So I'm just going to double mine, and it should work even with the thinlit dies. Now again, these ones I will also put on a piece of magnetic strip because these are even more tiny. And he did XOXO on his. You could spell out love. You could spell out anything that you like. I kind of like the XOXO, so let's do that. There's an X. And when you put these on a little piece of magnet, you're able to see them a little easier. It saves you from having to dig through like I am right now. And it can more easily tell you if you have any that are missing. Now, Sizzix does make these with little numbers on the back. A lot of times those are just to tell you which set that it goes with. But I don't know if they, like I said, I've never contacted them to see about a replacement, but I don't think that's something that they offer. Okay. And again, this is just a really great way to use up scraps as well. Little letters. Now these two letters will work flipped either way because they're an X or an O, but if you want your texture on the same side, don't just fold the paper over like I did. You'll want to rip it in half and have, you know, texture up and texture up because this is textured together. I hope that makes sense. Kind of not a very good way to explain it. All right, there we go. Let's see if that cut them through. And it did, yeah. So I'm able to cut through 2 of these at one time. You might also have some little chipboard letters that could easily work for this as well. Just do another little set here. And then we'll put one of these together and see if we like how it looks. Now, if you have stamps and you want to do some sentiment stamps, or maybe your hearts you want to use are stamps, that could work too. There's the O, there's the center of the O, and there's the X's. Okay, now I can put these back away. I know some people have a little piece of magnet, and when they're working with dies, they'll stick the dies they're using on the magnet so that they don't drop them or lose them. I saw one lady, she had almost like a little stand that would hold her little dies as she was working with them. Lots of good ideas out there. Okay, we're gonna move this out of the way for a little bit. Okay, I think I put everything back into their respective little envelopes. We've got all of our pieces here. Okay. Now, I did get out a red card base, and we could definitely see what it looks like on red. He did just a white card base. You can do whatever one you want. And like I said, that little piece right there, I'm not going to worry about. I'm just going to glue it back in place. And maybe I'm going to glue this side across. And then I'll trim the edge off once it's done. Okay. The glue that I'm using is by Tonic. It's Nuvo glue, Tonic Nuvo adhesive. But any paper crafting glue will work. Even Elmer's School Glue, PVA glue, whatever you have. Use whatever it is that you like. I have a few glues that you'll probably never see me use. I typically kind of use the same handfuls of glue, but I do have several on hand for gluing different things. So just paper to paper, my usual go-to is Barely Arts glue or Tonic Nuvo adhesive, liquid adhesive. But to each their own, everybody has their own way of gluing. And this is textured cardstock, so I may need even more glue. Okay, and then that little bit of overage there, I'll cut off in just a second. Let's go ahead and do one of these as well. Just looking at it, make sure it looks okay. I think I might trim just a little bit off of this side here. Eyes are kind of playing tricks on me today. Tomorrow is injection day, both eyes. Ugh. Not looking forward to that. However, it will be nice just to kind of get it done. It's kind of become one of those things I have to do every month now, and it's no fun, but I just need to get it done. Now, if you don't like the width of this little letterboard strip, you could cut it in half and just do, maybe you just want one row of letters. Hello there. I think that's, is it Dana or Dana? Hello, hello. Okay. line this up to the side as best as I can. And then again, we'll trim off this side. Let's see, did that glue together? Okay, it did. All right, and I'm gonna have something sitting right there, so it'll glue right over that, and it will be fine. And let's glue one more down since I made 3. I didn't make enough of the pieces for 3, but we can definitely make what we can make here. And here is also where you could incorporate some other things too. Maybe you have some stamps or stencils or whatever it is that you have that you like to use. I was watching Tim's live on Saturday, and the first thing he said was to go shop your stash. Like, go see what you have that you think you might want to use for whatever type of card it is that you're making. Maybe you're making Valentine's cards, or if you're just making birthday cards or whatever, but just go and kind of browse your stash and see what things you have. Pull some things out maybe you haven't used before, or maybe you intended to use. Maybe there's a technique you forgot that you want to try, or you know, maybe you have a die like I did that I haven't used yet. So it's great to pull those out and remember why I was so excited to buy them in the first place. And you can see I'm not measuring. I'm not so particular that this has to be exactly in the center or whatever. If you are that person, that's okay. You create the way you create, and you know, hopefully you just have fun making and you turn out a beautiful project at the end, and that's really all that matters. Okay. I don't know if any of you guys celebrate Valentine's Day. Hi, Regina. I have been so sick, but I'm back now, kind of. I don't know to what capacity I will be back. I'm just kind of taking every day as it comes. But when I was a little girl, my mom would always get me something little on Valentine's Day, and I always looked forward to it. Usually it was just like a little pair of earrings or a chapstick, or sometimes she'd just leave me a little note. We didn't always have the greatest of relationships, but that was one of the nice things I remember that she used to do. And you can see to this day, I still remember it. So it was definitely a treat and something I looked forward to. So when my kids were little, I used to try to make, you know, a little lunchbox notes or something little like that, whether it was Valentine's Day or not, but especially on Valentine's Day, just so they knew a little extra love was made with their name on it that day. All right, so let's trim this down. And like I said, I'm not a good trimmer, so I like to use a trimmer. Like, I'm not a straight cutter at all, so I try to use my trimmer. And sometimes cutting these little pieces can be so tricky. And if you feel it starting to jam, lift up your blade and try again. There we go. Okay. Try to get all these little straggly bits out of your blade housing here too, because if they're in there, it can wreak havoc. And sometimes you'll see I cut just the tiniest little sliver of the base paper too, because then it's not running into those pieces that I needed to trim off. And that does make the size of my card just a little bit smaller, but if it means it's not all bit to pieces and it's all nice and clean edge, then it's worth it to me. So, and you know, you can always put that edge back. You could put a little piece of lace there. You could put a little strip of decorative paper there. You could ink, you could whatever. Ignore it because it really isn't that big of a deal. Okay. So just like that, we've got 3 card bases. And the way these kind of go, that Tim did his, is he put a little piece of paper here for the envelope and left it open. And then XO went over here, like so. I think he did XO a couple of times. But you can write any sentiment that you like. You might, you know, maybe you want to write love, or you want to write hello, or whatever it is. All right, and then the little hearts just kind of come out of the envelope like so. And you can put as few or as many as you'd like right here. Just like that. And his was a white paper on the background, and he did a bunch of these little hearts, like a whole bunch. I didn't cut that many because they're individual cuts, and that kind of takes a little bit of time. But we will go ahead and do some extra little zhuzhing on these. One of my favorite reds, both for Christmas and Valentine's Day, is Lumberjack Plaid. And I just got a brand new brush holder for Christmas. I haven't even really been in here since Christmas. I just opened the brush holder today and put it in there. I'm just going to put a little bit of ink around the edges here. Now, you don't have to do this part if you don't like the inking. Definitely not a requirement, but I think it adds just a little bit of extra contrast, a little bit of extra color. You could stamp a sentiment inside of here as well if you wanted to. Lots of different things you can do with such a simple little set. So don't let its simplicity stump you, because you can still have a lot of fun with this set. I love it. And I don't know if this one's in my Amazon store or not. I do sometimes use affiliate links, but mostly I do have an Amazon store, just so you guys can look and find the things that I use. Okay, sorry, I don't know what she hears out there, but it's something. Okay, and then what I was thinking too was, like, if you didn't like all the little hearts, you could also do something like this. Make it look like this heart is coming out of the envelope too. And you could cut it smaller if you want. You could use other heart dies. I have tons of different heart dies with different sets. Sometimes they're Valentine sets and sometimes they're not. Like this was from, I forget which one this is from, but I love this heart. And then it has a bunch of little ones on there as well. It's one of my favorite tags that I made. I don't even remember what year I made this because I didn't date it. But it was so much fun to make, and I still really love it. I keep it out sometimes just for some fun inspiration. Regina makes little fun notes and things for her daughter and stepdaughter. That's so great. I love that. Okay, so I think this one I'm going to glue down just like it is. See, this one is I cut two, but you don't have to double them up. You can keep them singular if you want to. Now, sometimes I might also run these through a Xyron machine. That's the little sticker maker, to more easily glue these on. But when you have a glue that has a nice point like that, it is fairly easy to get the glue on there. And then the idea with these letters is that you kind of line them up with the lines on the letter board, so that it looks like one of those little letter boards that you might see at a store or a restaurant or something like that. Sorry, guys. Okay. There's been this lingering cough for a lot of people everywhere I've kind of heard that the respiratory stuff that's going around just lingers forever. Okay, so there's an X and an O. And we'll do another one down here. Are they all stuck together? They are. There we go. Like I said, you can keep them all doubled up because then it makes the letters a little thicker. Obviously, you'll want to put some glue in between. Mine were just doubled up from die cutting because I doubled the paper. Oops. And maybe you have stickers. Maybe you don't have die cuts, but you have stickers that will do the same thing. That would be great too. You could use some little heart stickers and put them on here. You could use cute little rhinestones. Just remember, if you plan to send the card in the mail, you want to try to keep it as flat as you can. Otherwise, they might charge you a little extra if it's bumpy. And sometimes parts or pieces could fall off if it's too bumpy. If you're going to hand deliver the card, though, go all out. Have as much fun as you like. Okay. And then this one, I'm going to put off center just because that's how I want to put it down. But you can put it straight if you prefer. And then I'm going to go ahead and just glue these up here. So it doesn't really matter that you can see where I inked there because I'm just going to glue. Okay. And then I did have some cute little bling dots here. And if there's a red one, I might put it right there. Looks like I had them out to use the red ones. And sometimes if I'm putting these on, I will put a little extra blob of glue just to make sure it sticks a little better. Put it wherever you like. And you could leave it like this. Maybe you have a little stamp that says love or something, and you might want to put that in there. Maybe you want to write it in there. Maybe you have some kind of a fun stencil. Any of those things would work. But let's put a few of these little hearts on here. And if you have tweezers or little squeezer tweezers, those are fun to use for these little tiny elements as well. And I like that this kind of card can really be for anyone, man or woman. It's kind of a fun little whatever day. If you don't, maybe you don't celebrate Valentine's Day, but maybe you just want to give a little extra love in a lunch. Or I used to put notes on my husband's truck. When he'd go to get in the truck in the morning, he'd have a fun little note. Not every morning, but just sometimes. It wasn't until my kids got to like middle school that they thought the lunchbox notes were a little bit embarrassing sometimes, but I thought they were fun. Okay, so you can see, you can put these however you would like. And then if you have some fun little extra goodies, like maybe you have some stickles, you want to add some extra little bling. How are we doing on time? We still have a few minutes left. So again, if you are new here, welcome. I would love it if you like, subscribe, and share. This is part of the Artistry Collective Wednesdays, where my friends Christy and Leah and I go live. I start us off, and then we go to Make All the Things with Me. That's Leah, and she'll be on here in about 10 minutes. Leah, that's your 10-minute warning. And then up after her, she'll craft for an hour. And then after her is Christy from Christy's Crafty Cottage. And I think this is the first Wednesday in a while that we've all three been able to be here just because of health and family issues. So, but yeah, we would love your support, especially if you, you know, maybe if you're new, you want to stick around, watch some of our other videos after the event tonight. That would be awesome. And if you could give the videos a like and a thumbs up and all those good things, that helps too. Lets YouTube know my channel didn't die. I'm still here. I'm not unalive. Okay, there we go. So, you know, that's a little extra touch. You can do that if you want to. You don't have to if you don't want to. I kind of made a little mess there, but that's okay. Don't worry. Handmade cards are fun and offer their own imperfections. Okay, so let's see. I had some little stencils out. Maybe I have a stencil on these other envelopes. We're going to set this one aside to dry. Sometimes I do a use just what's on my desk challenge, so I can look on my desk and see that was where I got those little bling dots, and I do have my little bundle of stencils here as well. Hi, Laurie. Welcome in, everyone. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out, seeing what I've been up to, welcoming me back. It's been, like I said, it's been a long month and a half, about that, yeah. And I'm doing a little bit better, but hoping to just keep getting stronger every day. We'll see how it goes. And hopefully I'll be here next week. But like I said, I just really have to kind of take it day by day right now and see how things are going. Oh, this doesn't have my little, I thought I had some little heart stencils in here. All right, well, that's okay too. We could use these little stars. Those are letters. Okay, well, that wasn't very helpful, but we can still put the other, a couple of these other ones here. Maybe on this one, I'll put the big heart in there. We'll see what that looks like. And we could make this envelope, we could just ink it all, and it would almost kind of look like a pink. All right, let's see. I wanted the texture on the inside. And that is just personal preference. You can use whatever side of your paper you like. And if you have a bone folder, you can really get these creased down better. Even if you don't, you can use the edge of your scissors or a ruler or your brush like this and just kind of fold it down nice and creased. And you know, we could even put this like, we could go a little different here. We could put the heart, and then we could put the little letter, leave it closed like this, and then put one of the little hearts out here. I think I might do that, just to be a little bit different on this one. That way you can see with the same dies and the same pieces, you can kind of mix and match them and make some cards that are similar but different. All right, let's glue these down. We'll set a little weight on that for a second. Just gonna go over the edge of this heart because I can see the white paper edge there and it's not really to my liking, but Some people might like that. Or, you know, if you have a white edge like that, you might embrace it as well. Just go around the edge of it with a Jelly Roll pen. And again, I'm going to glue it a little wonky because I kind of like that. There's an X and an O. And we don't have to put 2 if we didn't want to. But it does use up the space nicely. Maybe I'll just put 1. Remy, shh. Oh, lots of hearts. Love it. Okay, I'll put this in here. So I hope if nothing else today, you guys will, you know, find a few minutes just to get in your craft room and make. This is an hour-long live. I've got, I think, 2 minutes left, but you can see, you can definitely just make some fun little notes. And it's fun to create with your hands. It's fun to use the tools that you have. Even if you don't have many tools, maybe you just have some stamps and some paper. That's fine too. Just use what you have and have some fun. Make something for someone. No matter how small. Usually people just love the thought. Aw, thank you, Leah. Oh my gosh, Leah just sent me a really great treat. Thank you so much for that, my friend. I greatly appreciate you. Okay, so we're going to glue that one down, and then I'm going to glue one of these little heart goodies here on the little label of this envelope. You could stick a fortune in there if you wanted to, maybe something for them to find or a little note, but I did not do that this one, so we'll just glue it down. It's like a little love note. And then I can stick some stickles on there. So I hope you guys have enjoyed being back here on the channel, and you will give it a big thumbs up, like and subscribe, do all those fun YouTube things, and that you'll go check out my friends. Leah will be doing, I don't know what she's going to be making, but something fabulous, and then Christy after her. So Make All the Things With Me will be next, and then Christy's Crafty Cottage will be next after that. If you need links to those, they are in the description. I always put them there. And again, we try to be live here every Wednesday for the Artistry Collective Wednesday live craft and chats. So again, thank you guys all for excusing my kind of a long period of absence, but I'm back now, and I'm here. I'm ready to have fun, ready to do some crafting. Hopefully it will continue, and yeah, hopefully we can all just kind of get back to some sort of a schedule. I don't know. I'm having a hard time committing too much of a schedule right now because I still have a ton of doctor's appointments and I'm still not 100%, but I'm getting there. So, so again, you guys can see just with these couple of dies and a couple of fun products, we can make some beautiful cards. And I hope you guys will go check out Leah from Make All the Things With Me, and I will see you guys next time on the Artistry Collective live craft and chat Wednesdays. Bye everyone.